That's the Philippine industry. Thank you.
Yeah, we got a question way back here, in the back of the room.
Good afternoon. With regards to the AFTA, what are the preparations of the industry for this agreement? Are there any preparations?
As I've said, there was a clamor from the farm sector, or for example, for the corn producing sector to really request the government of the Philippines to make representation with the AFTA members to at least suspend the implementation of the AFTA. But I think even the government cannot really do this one. But although I think there are two items that they have actually requested the AFTA, and I think this was actually approved, which is really the rice and the other one is sugar. Yes, thank you.
On that same question, other than lobbying the government for a delay in implementation, I mean, it's right around the corner. AFTA is just next year. As the industry themselves, you or your colleagues in private companies, how have you actually prepared for this? Because you certainly have known this has been coming for quite a long time, to be more competitive or find ways that you realize you're going to have to compete with potential imports.
Okay. We have a lot of issues in representation also to the government, but I think its company is really preparing for the ultimate presentation of this one. So actually they are really building up or paying attention to their cost to produce and so on. So I think it will really have to be efficiency. The name of the game for the succeeding years will really have to be efficiency. Each company, because basically these are really more on the private sector, so its company is really preparing for this ultimate implementation of the tariff or the AFTA. We are actually asking the government also to reduce some of the inputs in terms of tariff, but for example, for the soybean meal, it's still coming from the U.S., which is not really a member of the AFTA. But we will really but we are actually making representations for them to really give in to a zero-rated or at least 1% and so on. But these are some of the measures that I think that the industry is good.
Can I ask some of your colleagues from say Malaysia, Dr. Kui or Kun Tanambong from Thailand, are you eyeing the Philippine market now that AFTA is coming up? Do you see that as an advantageous and lucrative potential for exports from either of your countries?
Yes, I understand that CP Thailand, Beta Agro is supposed to be entering the country for the year 2010. That's what we have read so far.
Kun Tanambong from Betagro in Thailand.
Actually, for Betagro, we are looking for the animal health products and feed additives industry in Philippines. But for the feed mill itself, we think that there are big players in the country already. So in our group, we are looking for the nearby country because the raw material in our country is not enough. So we are looking for Cambodia, and also some Laos and Vietnam, not for Philippines.
Shall we say thank you for that?
So, I have a question. Do you have any figures of the soybean oil in the Philippines? What is the volume they uses per year compared with last year?
Okay. I will just speak based on how we use it in our operation. Soy oil is not very much used from our part because we have the coconut oil. Coconut oil is quite abundant in the Philippines, and this is basically what we are using really in our formulation. So there are some companies who are actually using soy oil, But in relation to the total usage of the total oil requirement of the industry, it's still, I think, coconut oil that is really quite being used. We're not really a very big user of soy oil.
Did it answer your question? Any figures?
I really do not know because I'm not really using soy oil. I'm sorry.
Maybe you should look in the book. Yes, Aman from Noble Grain.
At what discount to corn do feed millers prefer feed wheat? As a price peso per kg. At what level will they switch?
Okay. If we're going to ask our nutritionists, okay, actually there's supposed to be no difference at all in terms of usage. So if the price of corn is supposed to be much lower than wheat, then you have to really use corn. But if the price of the wheat is really very low, then you really have to use wheat. But there are also thoughts that corn is quite better in terms of grow especially for broiler. So that's why for broiler, we really use more corn than the wheat. This is the only year I think that we are quite really using extensively again the wheat because of the zero duty that was really given to us by the government from January to June. The current prices right now of corn in relation to the wheat with the 7% duty, we still have to use corn because the prices of the corn right now is quite very low in relation to feed wheat. The feed wheat are really sourced basically due from Ukraine. Okay.
Comment from Indonesia?
Thank you. I have two questions. Do you have figure about capacity usage in Filipina feed mills?
Excess, you mean?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, and second, little bit micro. What is the gross margin of kilograms of feed in Philippines? You have an
Okay,
idea?
I will answer the first question in a. The plant capacity right now, or what is actually being used, I think since the total volume of the industry has really gone down, I think we're actually capacity usage is only around 50 to 70 on the totality. Now, as to the gross margin, you really have to ask this on a per company basis. But for this year, I think our industry is quite recuperating. We have come from a very, very low margin from previous years. So I think for this year, we're really quite making a little bit. Safe answer? Okay. Okay, safe answer for the Philippine delegation.
Estefania, thank you very
Thank
very
you.
much. Very good presentation.